This year's Article of the Year, Nurse Practitioners, Physician Assistants, and Physicians in Community Health Centers 2006 through 2010, shows an extraordinary trend in the reliance on PAs and NPs to deliver care to the underserved. Lead author Perry Morgan, along with co-authors Christine Everett and Esther Hing, analyzed more than 36 million weighted visits and 150,000 providers over 5 years. Their extensive research illustrates how CHCs are organized to provide high-quality, efficient family medicine care, resulting in improved outcomes by employing a diverse set of providers who are able to meet a variety of needs. The study highlights PAs as a crucial part of the primary care efforts at CHCs and has implications for how to best build teams of providers for maximum effectiveness. Roderick Hooker, retired professor of health policy, said, "The study shows critical thinking and a deep dive into the complexity of healthcare research. It should be studied by all health professionals, educators, and students." Chris Everett has accomplished a remarkable amount in a comparatively short time as a PA. Since 2009, she has authored or co-authored 18 peer-reviewed articles that have been published in several prestigious journals, including Healthcare, Health Affairs, JPAE, and JAPA. She has given dozens of peer-reviewed and invited presentations on her work to various audiences such as Academy Health, PAEA, AAPA, and AAMC. Chris's colleagues not only admire the innovative, precise methodology and potential impact of her research, but also her ability to collaborate with others across the spectrum of healthcare. Chris's work has helped broadly position PAs as an integral part of healthcare teams and put the profession in the spotlight. As her colleague Richard Dean said, her substantial and sustained record of research has undeniably contributed new knowledge as well as extended existing knowledge to PA education. With a curriculum specifically designed to introduce diversity early and often, it's no surprise that the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine PA program is a leader in PA education. After just one semester, students participate in a week-long summer institute that allows them to interact with patients, healthcare providers, and community agencies to learn more about the needs of the underserved around them. The institute also includes an innovative poverty simulation to help students more intimately understand the challenges facing much of the population. The program also works to ensure the student population is diverse. In summer, they host MASH Camp, where nearly 100 high school students from underrepresented minority groups travel to Tulsa for a week-long introduction to health careers. Since the program began in 2008, it has enrolled about 17% minority students, about half of which are Native Americans. Associate Dean for Academic Services Meredith Davison said, "The program has made an extraordinary commitment to recruiting and educating students who will provide care to a diverse population of underserved patients in Oklahoma." In 2003, with a pay-it-forward mindset guiding them, Tom Monco and Mike Huber started the PA Olympics. Their hope was to bring student leadership and faculty expertise from multiple programs together for charity and service engagement. The PA Olympics has grown from a collaboration among 3 programs to 7 programs and raised over $56,000 for 14 local student-selected charities. Most recently, participants raised over $15,000 for the Mazzoni Center, an LGBTQ-focused healthcare provider. Mike hopes that the event encourages students to continue this partnership model to overcome challenges and find solutions to common problems. Donna Agnew, Program Director of Salus University's PA program, a participant in the PA Olympics, said, "The PA Olympics foster a tradition of service, a core value upon which our profession was built. Students can see how a simple act of extended kindness can exponentially affect positive change." How many teachers that you know would dress up as a fairy godmother, tiara and all, just to make a point to her students? Probably not many, but Nicole Dettman would. Nicole is Associate Program Director, Director of Clinical Education, and assistant professor at the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, as well as a practicing PA at 2 local hospitals. At MCPHS, Nicole oversees vetting and securing a whopping 500 rotation slots, domestic and abroad, for MCPHS's 3 campuses. In fact, her colleagues say one of her greatest legacies will be the creation and growth of a successful international clinical rotation program in Bolivia, a place near and dear to her heart, having volunteered clinical medical services to rural indigenous communities there for nearly 2 decades. Now she helps her students do the same. At the end of the day, Nicole said, what motivates her is watching her students transform into compassionate clinicians. Visit the St. Francis University Department of PA Sciences and you'll likely hear, "Ask Marie, she'll know." For over 20 years, Marie co-authored the annual report on physician assistant educational programs in the United States. When the report was taken over by PAEA's research department, she joined the Data and Research Subcommittee for continued leadership. Starting with convincing faculty to actually use computers in the 90s, Marie has become the go-to person for all things technology. She spearheaded development of a new data collection and tracking system, trains colleagues, and troubleshoots errors. Professor Thomas Woods said, "Without her efforts, we would be lost at sea without a compass." In many ways, Marie is one of the main linchpins that holds the department together. Jay began his career as a medical specialist in the U.S. Army, later working as a paramedic while earning his bachelor's degree. After receiving his master's in PA studies from the University of Nebraska, he worked as a PA for a decade before becoming a teacher. When Jay switched from full-time practice to academia 3 years ago, he jumped in feet first. He has served as a course director for classes from primary care to general surgery. He plans all didactic schedules and teaches a full week of trauma curriculum, affectionately referred to by students and faculty as J Week. His colleagues credit him with identifying innovative teaching methods and taking the lead on test question revision and creation. All of this in addition to clinical practice, writing case studies for clinical testing scenarios, and serving in leadership roles within the university and in the community. Student Angela Schuster said, "He approaches every student and every day with enthusiasm, a wealth of knowledge, and a delightful sense of humor that sets everyone at ease." Chris is a professor at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, whose impact extends far beyond the traditional classroom. He is a peer reviewer for JAPA and also serves on a PAEA exam development board. In this role, he serves on a team of expert PA educators to write and review questions for the PAEA emergency medicine and general surgery end of rotation exams. By integrating technology and social media into his lectures and life, Chris has reached thousands around the world. With his innovative Pain podcast, he is able to discuss important medical topics in a way that is accessible for even the busiest PAs. His colleague Michelle Brown said, "Wisely and passionately utilizing his ingenuity, strengths, experiences, and continual personal education, he continues to break through traditional barriers, advancing the quality of medical education and making an exponential impact, not only in his home state of Alabama, but around the entire country." To her colleagues, Pat Kennymore represents excellence in teaching and scholarship. Looking back at her 25-year career as a PA educator, it's not hard to see why. Pat has worked tirelessly to improve the educational experience for students. She successfully implemented what her colleagues call a kinder and gentler weekly schedule for students while maintaining educational quality. She develops clinical application exercises that parallel the content of courses, as well as small group activities focused on pharmacotherapeutics. Colleagues admire her for always having her students' best interests at heart. A former student said, "Pat has a genuine desire for us to succeed and reach our fullest potential. She is nominated yearly for OHSU's Excellence in Teaching Award, which she has won 3 times. Pat's dedication to her students extends to her professional service, too. She was instrumental in gaining membership for PAs with the Oregon Medical Association and became the first non-physician member of their board of trustees, leading the CEO to call her a trailblazer. Pat's colleague Antoinette Polito said, "She is the one we call to mind when thinking about how to best perform our job. What would Pat do is a common call to excellence." Mentor, leader, friend. Ask anyone who knows Don Peterson to describe him, and you'll likely hear more than one of these words. From conducting research to promoting PAs around the globe to highlighting veterans issues, is there any part of PA education that Don isn't passionately committed to? Don began his PA career at the University of Utah School of Medicine's MEDEX project in 1978. Shortly after graduation, he signed on to help train future PAs in the newly formed Utah Physician Assistant Program, UPAP, while working as a PA locally. When Don began at UPAP, he found a struggling program, but under his leadership, the program began to thrive. In 1989, after a decade of teaching at UPAP, Don became the second program director. Bob Bunnell, former executive director of the Utah Academy of Physician Assistants, said, "Don's work with UPAP elevated the quality for education from a program on the brink of extinction to repeatedly being listed among the top 5 graduate schools in the United States." He was founder and editor-in-chief of what is now the Journal of Physician Assistant Education and has written dozens of book chapters and articles, including a paper that remains a model PA forecasting study. Blending his expertise with his selfless generosity, Don also volunteers his time for domestic and international relief work, visiting Thailand and Nepal after natural disasters to provide aid. As Alfred M. Sadler, Jr., immediate past president of the PA History Society, said, "He is a generous exemplar of leadership with humility, a quality far too rare in our world today." Thank you, Don, for paving the way for future PAs and for all that you have contributed throughout your storied career.